The next section is education and certifications, and you can customize thing with LinkedIn. You can do a lot of customization, so you may want to reorder that so it makes sense for your job search. Now, LinkedIn software and all that is constantly changing, so take a look at LinkedIn and what you can and can't change. But if you can, the idea is that you can reorder things so they make sense for your job search, and they have the most relevant things at the top. I mean, traditionally people would list their education at the top with their most recent degree or their most advanced degree, followed by other degrees, followed by, let's say, certifications that they might have had, professional certifications. But let's say you're something that's most relevant to your job is less your formal college or university education, but maybe you've got some specific certifications that are very important. Professional certifications that we're talking about, maybe in technology or software or any profession, nursing, teaching, whatever it might be, might have professional certifications that are very, very important. Particularly for the job you're applying for, they might say must have, ABC certification. You want to put that towards the top, so when somebody's, again, scanning this really quickly, a human eye, they'll be able to see that quickly. Wherever you reorder it, the machine should find it as far as if they're searching for certain certifications. So have the most relevant for your job search at top, and then you want to group them so you don't have like certification and then education and whatever. They're groups. They're certificates and education, or traditionally education and certification. And you can even add more to that, add more flavor, and write about how your education and what you learned formally in school or your certificate is still relevant in the position you're thinking of, you're applying for, or people might be looking for you. And so talk about how that relevancy. If it's not relevant, then you can list it, but then kind of de-emphasize a little bit of it too. So you might say I have a bachelor's degree from ABC College, and I might not say it's in anthropology or something like that. That's maybe not applicable to a leadership business position outside the anthropology field. But maybe I also have a master's degree, an MBA, Master of Business Administration, and that I have at the top, and that's MBA, and that's what people are keen on for business leadership. And I might then expand on that, how I learned statistics and all the quantitative and qualitative factors in my MBA program, blah, 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 right? So you're trying to orientate it towards that job search. Another thing too that you can do with this section is to not include dates, particularly if you're looking to avoid some type of age discrimination, excuse me. So if you have dates of your education, that might be a clue that you might not have on a younger side, you might not have the depth of experience that they're looking at, or they think they're looking at, like, oh, it must have 15 years experience, and then they could look at your dates of your college, and they'll usually get from your work history anyways, but they could look at the dates of your college and see, oh, you might not have the experience that we're looking for, and prejudge you that way, even though you could be terrific as a younger person. And then the other side, and this is a really big problem and growing all the time, is for older folks, is for age discrimination. You start getting about 50 years old especially, and you can really run into age discrimination. There's there's perceptions or prejudices against that. So by removing those dates, that's why I wouldn't put on like the date of when I graduated from my undergraduate degree, and then years later I got a master's degree and an MBA. Either way, they could get a feel for my age. Now you could look at me and get a feel for my age, I guess. You probably could figure out I'm not 25 anymore. But again, that could be used in a discriminatory manner. It's like, there's Steve. He probably doesn't know anything about technology. Look at him. He's an old guy. Look at this old guy. He doesn't know anything. Well, actually, I know how to edit videos. I know how to do video things. I can public speak. I can do lots of great things on a technology side that might be surprising to some folks. I can use advanced learning management software like Captivate, Adobe Captivate. There's lots of things I can do. But if you just look at my face, you might say, old guy, and discriminate against me. And that's wrong, and that's terrible. Whether it's discriminating people because of how young they are, or how old they are, or how they look, or their race, gender, whatever it might be, discrimination is terrible. So from the education and certification standpoint, though, this is where age discrimination kind of come in play. That's also why in the work experience part, where you might not be listing 12 jobs, because again, that might give a feel for too long of dates or time. You're looking at your current position, and then maybe one or two after that. So there's a little bit about education and certification, and again, orientated towards the job that you're seeking. And if you're changing careers, kind of orientated towards that as well. To, again, for people who are scanning it, they can see, this person also has some form of education or some certification, professional certification that fits our needs for our company.